Right, we've got a lot going on here in this section. There's three main types of methods, or four actually, main types of method that we're going to use. And so we're going to go ahead and check this out. So for this one here, the method that I want to do is to undo the square root, or square it. And upon doing that, that cancels out and that cancels out, leaving you with simply this. When I subtract the x here, I get an x. When I add the 1 here, I get a 5. So we get simply 5 as the answer for that one. Now, let's look at this one here. This one here, I see that I really just have one x, one variable in the whole equation there. So I really want to just move the 1. So I do that. And then what I need to do is move the 4, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And then I'm going to square root. So square rooting is this particular option that I would choose for this. And when you take the square root of negative 64, that's the same thing as 64 and a negative 1. So we have 8i and negative 8i. The square root of negative 1 is the I, and this one is the 8. Alright, we're going to look at two other ways. This one actually is the same as this one here. The only way I can get rid of that is to square it. But when I do that, lots of things can happen. Bad things can happen. This side, no problem. This side is a perfect square that I have to multiply. So remember, it means this. So we get x squared plus 6x plus 9. Take your time, multiply it out if you need to. So this is our squaring method. And then, ooh, nice, those guys cancel. I can move the 9 over there. I get negative 4. And x is equal to negative 2/3 when I reduce my 4, 6. So I can't say 4 and write 3, apparently, at the same time. Alright, one last guy. This one here is different than the ones that we've done so far because there's an x squared and an x. Even though this had an x squared and an x, I still had to square. That was like the thing I had to do, is get rid of this big old square root guy. But this one here, what I want to do is put it into the right format. In other words, put it equal to 0. Because then I have options. I can either use quadratic formula or I can factor it. So we definitely want to try factoring first because it's just easier to factor. So we have what? Negative, oh, wait. There's a common factor. If I take a 2 out of all of this, I just got way too excited there. Alright, and I sang a little song. So if I take a 2 out of each of those things, this is way easier because negative 5 and negative 4 gives you negative 5 and 1. So there is no longer a coefficient in front of there, so I can do diamond and done. Those are my two factors, so I set them both equal to 0. That's the whole point of factoring. I get negative 1 and 5 as my two answers, and the method was factoring. Alright, let's go ahead and look at 19 in this same video. So I'll have to make a separate video. And it says, for this equation, which numbers yield only one real solution for the equation? So let's go ahead and just plug some things in. If I plug in a 1, what do I get? I get 2 minus 1 is 1, and that equals 1. Like, I'm down with that. Let's look here, though, and see if negative 1. So look at your options. Your options help you figure out what you need to actually try. So if I put in that, I get negative 2, and a negative 1 is a negative 3. No, definitely not. So that's out, and this one here is one real solution.